You're inside a house, and outside the house is a group of people who are trying to get in. They're a mob. And people inside that mob, not the entire mob, but several individuals inside the mob have stated very explicitly that once they get inside the house, they're going to kill you. And the other people in the mob who aren't saying this don't seem to be contradicting the words of the people who are threatening you. This wouldn't be a problem, but you've seen the actions of some of those people in the mob. And you know that they intend to make good on their threat. So you've barricaded yourself. You've nailed boards over the windows. You've locked the doors and also boarded those up as well. The mob cut the power to the house some time ago, so you've got Coleman lanterns all over the place. The old kind, unfortunately. The fuel burning kind, not the nifty LED kind. But things aren't as simple as they might seem. This is your house that you're in. But the people outside also have a legitimate claim to the house. But as we've established, they are an unruly, very potentially life-threatening, destructive mob, and your attempts to reason with them only seem to make them more enraged, further inflamed to destruction. The mob outside has rallied around one particular figure. And they seem to be looking to him for direction. Fortunately for you, he's not a very good leader. His instructions to the mob are incoherent and self-contradicting and seem to be composed mainly of insults and libels to your person. He also boasts that he could kill you as well, and no one in the mob would fault him for it. And indeed, the mob seems to acclaim this through great shows of emotion and stomping and cheering. But they're not very well directed. However, eventually they managed to get a board off a window, and things have gone from bad to George A. Romero up in here. You know that once they get a purchase, they're going to pour in a human wave and kill you. You want to reason with them, and you hope that maybe if you can just hold the house for a little while longer, and this buffoon outside can show what an ineffective leader he is. The mob may dissipate a little bit. You may be able to appeal to one or two of the more reasonable members of the mob. And yeah, you can let him in. The house is to be shared. That was its intent. What's happening at the moment is you are now faced with the flailing limbs of the first of these murderous people trying to get at you. And you reach for the first thing that you can to just repel them and to try to get the board back in place. You reach for a Coleman lantern. You swing the lantern against the flailing hands and arms of these murderous people. It seems to be working, however, the lantern has now started a small fire. The lantern itself is now dripping, flaming kerosene fuel about, and you now have two problems. What you can't do is stop to put out the fire. But you have to put out the fire because you don't want to be stuck inside a burning house with a murderous mob outside waiting for you. And this is the situation in which we find ourselves. We have to get those boards back on. We have to, with as much care as possible, repel those people back outside. We have to put out the fire. And then we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do. I don't know. Happy endings are complicated things. The truth is, the fight never really stops. The truth is, we have to try for the best possible outcome. And that will give us, if not a happy ending, then at least an ending. Well, maybe we need to stop thinking about this in terms of happy endings. Maybe what we need to think about is a resolution that isn't unthinkable. And we need to come to grips with the understanding that there are no real endings, happy or otherwise, but there are situations which are acceptable and not acceptable. That's how things look to me this morning.